I have to believe that Bethesda's leadership, the executives at the company, hoped or were thinking that Fallout 76 could be the next Elder Scrolls Online. Long before the release of Fallout 76, I was always predicting that we would eventually get a live service Fallout. I mean, the Elder Scrolls is probably Bethesda's second biggest franchise, and they turned that into a live service because they wanted that recurrent consumer spending, because, I mean, the Elder Scrolls 6 is a long ways away, and we're still probably about, 4 or 5 years away from the Elder Scrolls 6 launching, and I have to assume that the Elder Scrolls Online is just going to keep on moving forward. That game did launch rocky, and it has evolved into something that a lot of people love. Personally, myself, not a huge fan, but with Fallout 76, I have to believe that the executives were thinking the same thing, to have a Fallout live service until whenever Fallout 5 comes, which at this point could be another 7-8 years away, assuming that Starfield comes out maybe next year or the year after, and then the Elder Scrolls 6 in 2023 or 2024. So Fallout 5 a long ways away, and with Fallout 76, the ultimate goal was that this online live service would continue to evolve for the years to come. But right now, a year after release, I just don't think that they're gonna get there. I really do think that Fallout 76, if it doesn't recover after the Wastelanders update coming next year, which at this point, I just don't have any faith that it will, I think they're tired and they're going to move on from Fallout 76, a game that is always in the headlines for the wrong reasons. And at this point, I just don't have any faith in Bethesda Game Studios, which is why I want to feel hopeful for Starfield, but I don't. Now, obviously, the title of this video is why people are angry with Bethesda Game Studios again, and honestly, I was looking through all the videos I've made this year, and it just seems like every single week there's a new controversy with this game, and it's getting tiring. Like, at first it was like, oh, here we go, more incompetency from Bethesda Game Studios, but now it's sad, it's pathetic, it's frustrating, because it feels like this behavior has become normalized, and everybody is just like, oh yeah, it's just another Fallout 76 screw-up, who cares? But at this point, it really is setting a standard, a kind of a scary standard, and it's also making an example out of why I hate these unfinished live service AAA disasters that this industry continues to deliver year after year. Like, I feel like 2019 has been one of the worst years with these live service disasters, whether it be Fallout 76, Anthem, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, the usual sports games like WWE 2K20, which doesn't get discussed enough. That was horrendous what 2K games delivered. And there's probably more examples that I'm forgetting right now, but Fallout 76 has really just been a train wreck again. And I know I have to change the music in this video now because this is the best way. It's just a joke. It's pathetic, and I don't understand a lot of the decisions that are being made behind the scenes. But right now, as it stands, this was a controversy that emerged about a week ago, and I just looked at it and I was like, oh great, here we go again. New Fallout 76 patch creates more problems by breaking legendary armor. Obviously, Bethesda has been investigating the issue and they're working on a fix. But you know how all of this gets solved? It's called a test server. And you know what you should do, Bethesda? You put everything on pause and you get to work on a test server. Throughout 2019, there has been a lot of issues with Bethesda Game Studios, period. We've had the Elder Scrolls Blades being pretty much a disaster, a greedy disaster, I should say. The Atomic Shop has been also a disaster. There's been all kinds of lies coming from Todd Howard, Pete Hines, and other executives at Bethesda. And then we have broken patches being released. And these broken patches have had other unintended issues, like allowing hackers access to things that they shouldn't have access to. Like, if you remember earlier this year, I think it was back in January, reports emerged that Fallout 76 hackers had found a secret developer room that Bethesda Game Studios had put into the game. It included every single item in the game, including some unreleased items, and there was also a human NPC in there, which was likely a testing subject. But the interesting thing is, about a year later, and we pretty much have the same exact issue back again. Now, I do want to say about the Polygon article, the headline that I just mentioned, Bethesda is of course investigating that specific issue which happened a week ago, and they're working on a fix. But in the present, 7 days later, some new things have happened, and at this point it's not surprising at all. It's just sad and pathetic, like I said before. Going to this report from Kotaku, hackers find way to add NPCs to Fallout 76 76. New cheat programs are helping some Fallout 76 players duplicate their items and add massive new objects to the game like airships and even NPCs. I think I said this about a year ago, the Fallout 76 economy was pretty much destroyed by duplicators. And guess what? They are back. If you actually go to eBay right now and you check a lot of the items that are up for sale for Fallout 76, Fallout 76 PS4 piercing pipe rifle, bloodied and explosive weapon sniper, $45. Quad explosive double barrel shotgun level 45, best PvP rare weapon, $35. And if you continue going down, there's all kinds of weapons up for sale. The prices vary. I think there's one up for $70. And actually, as I continue to scroll down, the prices seem to go higher and higher. There's all kinds of different items like Fallout 76 unyielding Brotherhood of Steel combat armor, all weapon weight reduction, $85, $99 for a quad fast-fire Tesla best PvP weapon. It goes on, and this is Fallout 76. This is the experience that people are signing up for, and it's because of the poor decision making that is happening at Bethesda Austin. I'm gonna throw the blame at Bethesda Austin because I feel like this is something that should have been resolved a long time ago with a test server. Like, do these people not understand that you can't just put a band-aid on every single issue? You actually have to come up with a fucking solution. Oh, this company, I swear. Like, even looking at this, it's infuriating because I made a video about this a year ago about the exact same issue and its return because Bethesda doesn't know what they're doing with this game or this experience. Because this is what this is. This is part of the Fallout 76 experience. But as we continue, let me just mention in this Kotaku article that some of the other things that are being hacked into the game includes the Prydwen. The Brotherhood of Steel has arrived to Appalachia. Here's some footage of that. As you can see, players, you know, just walking around looking at the amazing Prydwen in the game. And then there's also been some images floating around of Preston Garvey in the game. And there's like an alien that's been added. It's Fallout 76, but let's continue forward in this Kotaku report. On December 14th, during Fallout 76's free weekend event, unknownscheat.me forum user, I'm not even going to say that, he released a script that wrote for the game on PC, allowing players to spawn weapons, armor, and other objects into the game. This release will most likely be hotfixed instantly, well it wasn't. Use the free weekend accounts to spawn containers, items, and create legendary equipment. After you create your items, store them on a mule account. Do this at your own risk. Last week, a player reported seeing the Prydwen, the Brotherhood of Steel airship from Bethesda's 2015 Fallout 4 game, floating in the skies above Fallout 76's White Springs Resort, likely as a result of the new hack. They posted a video of it on YouTube, which I just showed a second ago, and likely because that's where the players who hacked the airship into the game was keeping their campsite. Floating campsites have long been a thing in Fallout 76. Well, that's a new thing I just learned. Some players have even attempted to make them look like the Prydwen, but this is the first time the actual Prydwen was even spotted in the game, or has ever been spotted in the game. Now, players have also managed to add NPCs in the game. In an email to Kotaku Reddit user, the Gemini with the Fallout 76 group Dupers Are Us. Wow, they shared video footage of them and a friend playing with Brotherhood of Steel soldiers, Queen Scorch Beasts, and human NPCs they themselves had created, and as I mentioned before, one of those includes Preston Garvey. Their functionality is actually incredibly high. They will wander around your camp while idle, and in combat they will relentlessly chase their opponent, taking cover and retreating when necessary. These players have been able to use the hack to make NPCs that act like companions, protecting the players against anyone who might do them harm. There are a few limitations though, and obviously these hackers are still working on, improving these hacks because, it's not like Bethesda's gonna stop them. But now to the tail end of this article, Kotaku says, while it may be cool to be wandering through the game one day and spot something like the Prydwen or even an NPC from one of the previous games, the cheats can also be used to potentially cause chaos in fights or ruin Fallout 76's competitive Battle Royale mode. Some players in the game subreddit have reported mass insta-killings during matches. This has been an issue for months, might I add, with the Battle Royale mode. Multiple YouTubers who have been making videos showing cheaters actively destroying the nuclear winter mode, and Bethesda just has not been able to grapple this issue since its been made public. I feel like it was months ago when I first started hearing about this. But either way, here is some of the reactions from those who actually still have stuck with Fallout 76. The cheat engine creator is a joke on PC. Get yourselves together and invest into an anti-cheat system. Literally every other MMO has done this. Halo Reach for PC has an anti-cheat system, and it's only a week or so old. This game is over a year, and the only anti-cheat is an overly stressed out report system. Met a group of 4 with cheat item hacks activated and had ridiculous, rare items and items not even possible. The people who had items like Sunmask, Jester, Goblin, a gun that shot confetti, fire explosive plasma, like the animations was fire and explosive, etc. were all nice people, but I reported them anyways. Why? Because the markets is literally ruined, and these guys will get minor slaps on the wrist and write an "I'm sorry cuz blah 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 blah" like you handed out when the game first came out. Still hilarious. What a joke punishment if you don't recall what this person's referring to. Bethesda made hackers or people who had cheated write them a letter on why they deserve to get unbanned. They ended up by canceling that. I still find that so stupid, but I mean that's just one of the hundreds of issues that have happened with this game, and I think a lot of people just forget most of them at this point. But another user, they write, "I don't think people realize how hard it is to reach this level of hacking and exploiting in a multiplayer game. The only ways this could be possible is if Bethesda Austin didn't give a shit about people hacking, or if they are absolutely incompetent and can't manage to stop it. Man, I've played some shitty MMOs, but in the past 10 years, I haven't seen anything like this. Even those games had some ways to prevent hacking, but in Bethesda land, we don't know if they are even aware of what's going on inside their game, because they aren't. They probably don't even play their own game at this point." Anyway, I do find this one comment kind of funny. It says, "This is what happens when a single-player game developer makes an online game without consulting anyone with experience." And the thing is, there are a lot of people that are experienced on MMOs working on Fallout 76 at Bethesda Austin. The core issue isn't actually the developers, it's the engine, and also the piss-poor decision-making that is coming down from leadership. From my understanding with some Bethesda employees I've talked to in the last year, it appears that the leadership just does not know how to properly work with these outdated tools. Like, one employee specifically told me that when he had an issue that needed to be solved, he was told to look at mod videos, because that's how educated Bethesda is with their engine. Actually, maybe I should elaborate on what I'm trying to say here. There's been a running joke for a long time that modders have a better understanding of Bethesda's own tools, and there's some truth to that from what I've heard from inside the company. But anyway, this is just the latest Fallout 76 disaster, and at this, I just don't know what to say about all of this. It really is hard to put all of this into perspective. Like, I want to have some clever outro and say that this is the experience that we need to be fighting and stopping, but this is just unprecedented stupidity. Like, I don't understand how anyone within Bethesda thinks that this game's gonna last more than a year or two, because if Wastelanders does not have some drastic change and brings a lot of people in, I don't see how this game makes it until Starfield launches, which I think will probably be, fall 2021, maybe? But I do think that Fallout 76, if it doesn't start to get in a good direction, I'm putting that in quotes, good direction, I do think that the end is near, because not many new people are coming to Fallout 76, and I actually would advise people to steer away from an experience that one day seems to be okay, and the next day just as a broken mess, with hackers running rampant, destroying the experience, which some do still enjoy, surprisingly. But anyway, in conclusion, what I can say is that Fallout 76 is again a shit show, and Bethesda again doesn't know what they are doing with an experience that just kill it. Just end this. Like, I don't think many people are gonna miss Fallout 76. If Wastelanders ends up being disappointing, just end this, please. Put it out of its misery at this point. It's demoralizing talking about Fallout 76, but it's important. It is important to highlight all of the screw-ups Bethesda's making, because if anyone thinks that this is going to be slowing down anytime soon, you're sadly mistaken. Starfield and the Elder Scrolls 6 are next, unless they do something drastic with their technology, like the creation engine, getting rid of it and upgrading to something new. This is just going to continue forward, and also the greed that we've been talking about all throughout 2019, this is just going to keep on going forward. But I mean, this is what Bethesda Game Studios has become, and I understand after all of these controversies, all these other disasters, issues, whatever you want to call them, a lot of people are frustrated. Like right now, I know a lot of people are angry that Bethesda doesn't have proper anti-cheat tools or a better system in place like a test server, but this is the incompetency, let's just call it what it is, stupidity that is happening. And all the blame needs to be thrown on the leadership at Bethesda, and the fact that they haven't changed and we are in a repeated loop of the same issues just shows that they don't care. And if they don't care, I don't think anybody else should care to play any of their games anymore. And I'm not going to say, if you enjoy Fallout 76, enjoy it, but if you actually expect them to be better in the future, I don't see any of this slowing down. I mean, back in January of 2019, I honestly thought that things were finally slowing down and Bethesda would slowly improve Fallout 76, but I mean, 2019 has definitely proved me wrong. Throughout this year, just a lot of different things that I did not expect, from the greed, the lies, the incompetency, and like I said before, this is what Bethesda Game Studios has become. Unfortunate, but I'm starting to get used to it, which, unfortunately, I feel like a lot of this industry is becoming what Bethesda has become, although Bethesda definitely holds that top spot of the kings of, what do you want to call it, unfinished live service disasters with Fallout 76. But anyway, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below, but thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this video, or if you found any informative value, and make sure to follow my other social media accounts for updates on new videos. Links are always down in the description below. I'm most active on Twitter, giving opinions on news that I do not always get into video form, so make sure to follow me over there. Also check out my Discord for all sorts of discussion on games, and again, thank you for joining. Consider subscribing for more videos like this, and I shall see you later.